Hello and welcome to another episode of the Women's Sports Matters podcast. I'm your host, Gianna Castro, and today we'll be talking about the NWSL tournament happening in Utah this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Make sure to stick around. I'm going to highlight some stuff I talked about in my last episode, and, well, let's get started. Here's my ad read. You know how it goes with this podcast. I don't like when stuff interrupts in the middle. So, here's my ad read, and we'll get right to it with this episode talking about the NWSL's tournament in Utah. With last week's episode, I just wanted to say that I'm very thankful for the people that listen, that liked my episode a lot. I really put a lot of thought into it. I didn't write anything down beforehand. I just said whatever came to my mind. That's what I like to do anyway. I'm more of an on-the-spot person than prepared. But I am very thankful for all the positive feedback from people that have decided to share how they feel about it. I'm really glad that all the officers were charged and that the officer that did it, his charge was moved to second-degree murder. I think that was the right thing to do. Breonna Taylor's case is being opened back up. A lot of positive things happening with this movement right now, and that's all I really wanted to share. Happy Pride Month to those celebrating. I really wish we could have some pride parades this year, but hey, these protests will do, I guess. So enjoy this episode. All right, I'm very excited about this topic. This is the first time that we are talking about the NWSL in its own episode. And I would just like to say, I'm excited to talk about this upcoming tournament because I would just like to say, as a Chicago Red Stars fan, we will be undefeated in 2020. Yes, we did lose Sam Kerr to Chelsea. Also, Chelsea won their league because they canceled the rest of it, but the men still get to play. I don't know what's going on, but hey, Chelsea deserve it. Arsenal's a good team too, but go Chelsea. I am a Chelsea supporter, both men's and women's. I feel like that's valuable information to share if we're going to talk about this. But anyway, the Red Stars will be undefeated in 2020. They're playing Orlando Pride, Sky Blue FC, Utah Royals FC, and I cannot believe I forgot the other team that they're playing. I believe it's the Houston Dash. So yeah, we'll be undefeated this year. I know everyone's saying, I don't want to buy a subscription just to watch it for CBS. And I am in that same category. I am broke. I know it's only the cost of a cup of coffee, but I don't drink coffee. Okay? Listen, I am all for this tournament, but I wish it was on TV. What else are you going to put on TV right now? Tell me something. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Nothing. The NBA will not be starting until the end of June. European soccer is coming back. It'll be televised. So why is one of the sports coming back very soon not going to be on television? Yes, they signed a TV deal with CBS. Yes, some games have been on ESPN. But still, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it on Twitch, but I don't know if that's just for international users or not. But hey, we'll never know. I'm really excited to see the Chicago Red Stars win this whole tournament. Big FU to NC Courage. I think they don't deserve to win. And the only reason I don't like that team is because of one specific player whose name I will not say, because she refuses to wear jerseys with rainbows on it. And if you know who I am talking about, amazing. That's great. I'm glad you're following what's happening in the NWSL. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, people, look it up. She refuses to play with rainbow on her shirt because it's against her beliefs. Now I'm going to go on a little tangent. Last week's episode was about Stonewall. That's the gays, basically. I am one of the gays, TM. And let me just say, as a soccer fan, as someone who follows almost every single NWSL player on Twitter, she is blocked. If you are against LGBT people, I don't understand. It's not an opinion. People are people. I'm going to say this again, like I said in last week's episode. People are people, and we should all be treated with respect. We're all different. We're all supposed to be different. It's okay to be different. Why must you put people down? I'm sure she has fans, or had fans, that were part of the community. And then when she spoke out about this topic, she lost a ton of respect. People put asterisks in her name, her last name, when they talk about her. Like, she's that bad. She will never, ever be called up to the U.S. Women's National Team again. And I'm proud to say that statement. She does not deserve to be on a team where there are some people that are a part of that community and they feel uncomfortable. The fact that this player said that they felt uncomfortable with other people's presence and is a practicing Christian is unbelievable. I know many people part of the community that are religious. Religion has nothing to do with this. God didn't say this, or Jesus didn't say that. It's love thy neighbor or treat thy neighbor as you want to be treated. And Jesus said to love thy neighbor. Yes, me trying to remember what I learned in my religion classes. I used to be religious. I am not religious anymore, due to the fact that I've lost respect for the church, the Catholic Church, for the way that they handled the abuse in the church and experiences within my Catholic high school that I attended, and I later transferred to a public high school. But my experiences alone don't define what happens with other members of the community. That being said, my experiences define the way that I'm going to live my life. Even though I was confirmed, I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore. There are a bunch of Catholic players on the U.S. Women's National Team roster and NWSL rosters. They support their teammates. And they love each other no matter what. It's crazy. With that being said, folks, I just want to say everyone deserves respect. But when you go out of your way to be a bigot, that's where I draw the line. I mean, it just goes to show that some people, they're stuck back in the 60s or whatever the expression is. it's your decision to be a bigot. It's also your decision to treat everyone with respect. It goes to show the true colors of people. And to end this little tangent, I want to talk about the new jerseys that are coming out for these teams. Obviously my favorite is the Red Stars jerseys, hands down. Naming every city located in Chicago and surrounding Chicago. Because when you say the statement Chicago, you're like, oh yeah, I live in the city. All of those towns and cities are listed on the jersey, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Transit line jerseys is pretty cool as well. That's one of my favorite jerseys I've ever seen. But the kits this year for the Red Stars are fire. And yeah, I like what Houston did with their jerseys. Those are pretty cool, but not Red Stars cool. The Thorns are my second favorite. Hands down. What they did this year was a step up. I've seen their past jerseys too, and this is definitely a step in the right direction with them. And Orlando just released their kits today. They moved their kit presentation until today because of what was happening in the U.S. with the Black Lives Matters movement and the death of George Floyd, which I heavily respect 100%. I'm waiting to see if there's more from these teams, if they have any merch to show. I'm interested in getting some. My birthday is coming up, so I will be asking for more Red Stars merch and more NWSL merch. Actually, speaking on the topic of merch, before I go back to talking about the tournament, I looked at OL Reign's website, and they're launching a new merch store. I cannot wait to see when this happens or what products will be sold, but I'm really, really excited. I think the rebranding went really well, except for the head coach. The head coach, terrible. So since we're on the topic of talking about OL Reign, obviously if you're in the know about the NWSL, Megan Rapinoe will not be playing in the tournament this year, which is respectable. If you're not going to play in the tournament, or you're not going to play this year as a player in any league, that is a great decision. If you don't want to be exposed to a virus, if you already have underlying health conditions, don't participate in a sport. It's very simple. It's your decision, and if people can't respect that, that's on them. I think for her being one of the most well-known women's soccer players in the world, for the talking about the national anthem and what she did during the World Cup, she has every right to do what the hell she wants and sit out of this tournament. OL Reign wasn't going to win anyway, because the Red Stars are going to win. I'm just going to keep on going with the Red Stars are going to win. I'm a Red Stars fan, if you couldn't tell. I'm very excited for new player debuts. Keely High and Rachel Hill. Those two in the front, are you kidding me? I just can't wait to see who makes the final rosters for these teams. It'll be pretty interesting. Set those reminders in your calendars, folks. June 25th is the start of the tournament, and you can get that on CBS and on Twitch. obviously you have to pay for CBS. Whatever. I will not be doing that. Maybe I'll just follow the stuff that happens on Twitter. I have to see if Twitch is just for international people, because isn't Twitch free? Like, I don't know how Twitch works. I don't know how that works. Am I supposed to? God only knows. Whatever. But if I would just like to add one more thing about the NWSL. They're coming off a very well watched and I can't even think of the words. They were watched a lot after the World Cup last year as players returned to their teams. It definitely sparked my interest more. I just hope that they can still have their success now after what happened last year, with so many more people paying attention to the league. I think that's why coronavirus makes it tough for these women's sports teams, because their success is just starting now, and they're growing. Their fan base is growing, and this interrupts it. And that sucks. If you are so invested in the NWSL, or you're looking to get in to watch, pay for the CBS All Access or whatever it's called, and watch your favorite team, or watch a team. Except don't watch the NC Courage. I know there's NC Courage fans out there. Hate me if you want, but I'm not a fan. Fine. I'm a fan of Sam Mewis and Crystal Dunn. And, okay, I'm a fan of everyone except for you-know-who. So, whatever. May the best team win. The best team being the Red Stars. With that being said, I would just like to say that as much as I am a Red Stars fan, we know it'll be very close. Some major transactions happening in this offseason, seeing some U.S. Women's national team members being traded. I think Portland actually has a pretty good shot. Honestly, if I had to call it right now, here's my predictions. Either Red Stars, Thorns, or Royals are winning this. I'm telling you, it's not NC Courage, because I hope they choke. I think that the player that will score the most goals will be Lynn Williams, and the best goalkeeper throughout this run will be Alyssa Nair. That's my prediction. Send me your thoughts on everything I just said. Catch me on Twitter at WSM Podcast. Use hashtag WSM Podcast. Tag me. And let's talk about women's soccer. What do you think about my predictions? I think I will be right. Because, let's be honest, go Red Stars. If you're a Red Stars fan, hit me up on Twitter. If you're a Courage fan, don't hit me up on Twitter. I don't want to hear it. I don't want the hate. You know I'm just kidding. But we all know that that one player is not respectable and should move into a different team that's not in America. I'm kidding, but am I kidding? The world may never know. Alright, I think that is enough of me rambling on and forgetting how to speak on today's episode. if you like this episode, make sure to subscribe because there's more NWSL content coming and WNBA content. And I'll be having my first guest coming up very soon. I know I hinted at that earlier, but that was going to be on the day that I released the BLM and Stonewall episode. But I decided that would be more important to talk about and more relevant to talk about. But I do have a guest coming on. If you're listening, you know who you are. I swear I'm going to plan this very soon. I'm really excited to have you on. Thank you for reaching out. So, I have another announcement to make. I have a YouTube channel now. The YouTube channel is the name of this podcast. Every single episode that I've uploaded on Anchor, and that is available everywhere that you find your podcast, is now on YouTube. Whoa! Oh my God, yes. I was told by my friend that listens to this podcast, hey Gerald, to start a YouTube channel to gain more views and subscribers, and that's exactly what I did. So, if you want to catch me on YouTube, look up the Women's Sports Matters podcast, okay? Women's Sports Matters podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I think I may start filming podcasts. My camera's kind of shit, so I don't know if I'll be doing that now. If you couldn't tell, I use my phone to record these episodes. So if it's just me filming, talking into my phone like this, I'm sorry. That was probably really uncomfortable for you. My bad. But, hey, we're making progress. Oh my God. See, me not knowing how to talk. We're making progress, folks. I have a YouTube channel now. I'm just like any other podcast up in here. Go subscribe to my channel. Go like the videos. I promise this is gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic, my guy. Okay. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at WSM Podcast. Use my hashtag. Oh my goodness. I've been over this already. You know what to do. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. COVID is still out there. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, please. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you so much. I will see you next week. And yes, I know my updates have been on weird days. There's no such thing. There's an episode every week. Okay? Alright. I'm actually going to end this podcast here. It's just me rambling on and on and on. So, have a nice week. And see you next time. I'm your host, Gianna Belcastro. And that's all, folks.